great honor to be present here on the day, and a special day for all of us, with the esteemed gathering out here. And that to be the birthday of our Honorable Prime Minister. And the subject selected, the Army preparedness under the leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister. She is strategically very well highlighted by Vice Admiral Surajberry, and of course the Air Force is going to cover. The air and the sea has already been seen, but we are the foot soldier on ground who move inch by inch. We may have the best, but best can only be led if you have the excellent leadership. What the leadership really one looks up to be as an infantry soldier, as a nation, or as a nationalist. Before I get on to the talk of as far as the Army preparedness is concerned, because the leadership has a huge role to play up what the nation is really looking up to be. And the word nation is looking from the armed forces to be. You see, if I really look at my leader, that's my way of stating facts, he should be the ideal blend of a Raja and a Rishi. Why I'm saying Raja, he shouldn't be behaving like a Raja, but he should act like an absolutely dynamic, active, and taking the decision. And why he should be like a Rishi? The knowledge, the wisdom, and the visualizing spiritually the worldly affairs to take the correct perspective of the world affairs and leading you to the right directions. Looking up to that, next what we really look forward, the ideal face. If you really talk of our Honorable Prime Minister today, he is representing 130 crores. So that be the, he is representing 130 crore people of our country. It really has to be the real impact on the world forum. And next we really look into the visionary thinking, dedication, commitment, judicious and justified. No, I would say the absolutely accountable as far as the expenditures are concerned, and due respect to the wise elders, honoring and the heritage of our nation. If our leader has all this quality and really look up to our Prime Minister, I think he falls true to all these aspects. And we are fortunate to have a Prime Minister of his status. And under his stewardship, I can assure you, not only Army, all three services have achieved commendable, and tomorrow, if need be there, the befitting response will be given from all three. Talking of the Army, if I have to really speak about the Army, I will divide it into three fronts. I will take the four front, I would say. First is the operational front. Second is the infrastructure. Third, I will take the equipment profile. Fourth is the overall health aspect. When we talk the health, is the industrial base, the kind of a supply system is there, and the kind of a equipment profile is being produced to keep your armed forces going. If you really talk of operations, I think I don't have to certify enough. Gentlemen, I'm not going out the strategic level, I'm just confining myself to give assurance to the audience sitting out here. People are already aware what is the strategic level, the things are going to play up, but to all the young students sitting in front and the people, they must get the confidence of the armed forces. I think operationally we have proven enough and adequately. We don't have to certify that yes, Army is competent to take any challenge, anytime, anywhere on this earth, given opportunity coming our way. You may talk of the surgical strike in Myanmar in 2015. You talk of a surgical strike in Uri, across Uri to take the revenge of Uri. You talk of the balakot strike, and you take the example of Doklam and ongoing Galwan issue, which is just been de-escalated few days back. It is de-escalated, not disengaged. There's a huge difference in de-escalation and disengagement. Gentlemen, the clear message has been given to the world. With our strength, our power, and our professionalism, the professionalism achieved by the Indian Army is clearly visible in the world forum. Let's be very clear and candid on this thing. Today, people may talk A, B, C, D. You see, a lot of modernizations are happening, which I'll be covering subsequently. A lot of changes are happening. People are may not be fully satisfied, but as things unfold, I think we'll be on a win-win situation. You take example of a Galwan. I think when the nation was going through the thickest of the trouble, fighting this pandemic, no one on this earth can think of venturing into such kind of an act. The whole world was fighting this pandemic. 5th May 2020, the thickest into the deep trouble of COVID-19. China thought India is deeply involved, so its armed forces is the ideal time to show the expansionism. So he tried to play up, but he was given a befitting response where we lost our, you all are aware, 20 brave hearts. But China suffered huge casualties, and we made sure that the clear message is driven home. And thereafter, the further expansionism was really restrained by occupying all those heights you're aware, and sustaining and surviving minus 20 to 40 degrees, double the amount of the forces, speaks commendable about the army leadership, your own army, your lovable army, which sailed through and survived through without any permanent habitats there in Leh and Ladakh at minus 40 to 50 degrees, and no question of losing a single inch of our land. That is the professionalism our army has, gentlemen. Gentlemen, when we say that the army hands have been tied and they have not been given freedom of action, it's all false now. I've been there on LC. My guru is sitting in the center as Honorable Governor. He has been there and performed under his stewardship. There's no question one can say that today your army hands are held. You are at liberty to use and take your action, making ensure that you should not suffer any setbacks in that. That has to be ensured. So that as far as your operational preparedness is concerned, gentlemen, coming over to your infrastructure development, I don't have to speak, all of you are aware. If your national highways are building, your border access are building, your tunnels are improving, this is the strategic achievement by the armed forces and army to move at a faster pace where it is required. Whether it's the collusivity of China and Pakistan, look at the highway capability and a capacity today. We can land our aircraft wherever we feel like. So that kind of dispersion you're getting in a strategic weapon, and that much a faster movement you're achieving. Whether it's the Chinani tunnel linking up to Srinagar, or your Jozila tunnel, or Atal tunnel linking up from Manali to Leh, which areas used to be cut off for 6 months, hereafter they will be open throughout the year. That's a huge achievement to facilitate your armed forces, army, and their operational capability. You take the example of Char Dham National Highway. It's been given name Char Dham, but ultimate aim is to achieve your strategic goal on China front this side. You take the example of your Champavat and Pithoragarh Highway going to Dhachula, though it's a facility to the people, but we are achieving the national aim. So huge money is being spent to develop the complete infrastructure. And it's not only the highways. You go on the LCs, you go on the IB, the separate team has been performed, the things have sea change, whether it's your surveillance, your dominance, your bunkers, your weapon, your equipment. I'm not getting into the small things. But I can assure you, we have the state of art. We have the smartized funds. Today you don't have to sitting at every inch and nook and corner of the ground. Things are well connected. Sitting in a command post, you can see the activity where what is happening. That's a kind of a competence and capability which has been achieved on LC. And so is the IB also. So that is the as far as improvement of infrastructure is concerned. Time has been cut down, so that's why I'm moving fast. And coming over to the inner health, I would say the equipment profile and the modernization. Gentlemen, it was a huge challenge. And really, all my seniors sitting at a podium, with due respect, everybody will vouch. The huge challenge was there in front of a government. This 200 years old ordnance board factory. Demolishing that was a huge challenge. A lot of UN cries were raised. That was a big fight first. And we all are aware what kind of equipments were being supplied by them. We are only looking after them. Even Jawan refused to wear that uniform made by them. In spite of number of repeated requests, today, finally, The compliments to our Prime Minister and the present government, they have dissolved and raised 7 companies at par with the private sector. There won't be at any variance. The second war which has achieved a huge milestone is the war against the middleman. There was a huge cartel between the ordnance group of industries and the middleman, and why they were not allowing the Indian industrial setup to come in the proximity of our defense sectors and enhance and show their capabilities. They were kept at bay. But today things have changed. The huge revamping has done. Today your country has produced guns. Today your country has produced aircraft and helicopters. And day is not far when Tata is also going to be incorporated in making your fighter aircrafts. Ships are visible in front of you. Recently we just quoted our big fighting fleet, which has been just inaugurated by our Honorable Prime Minister. Look at the number of ships. Out of 44, 41 have been launched. Look at their submarines. So is the air power and so is the infantry. All these changes have been brought in, and I'm telling you, big no to import. Be Atmanirbhar and be proud of what we can produce. Buy global, make in India. That is the concept of the present government. That is the vision of the Prime Minister. He said the biggest democracy cannot be dependent on for its security to the world. It should be self-sustaining, self-reliance, and producing his own product. That is the kind of assurance he wanted to give to his armed forces. And it is visible, is going to unfold in the years to come. The milestone which is achieved, the import which has been reduced by 33%, and export has gone 700 times plus. We have touched 7,000 crore beyond. And all trials and the which used to happen at a no cost and no commitment factor have been brought at the level full cost, no commitment. He has assured 25% of your capital budget total allotment has been earmarked for your R&D to the private sector. Tomorrow, if the bid is there, the defense government's ordnance factory, the 7 companies of the ordnance and the private sectors are going to bid at the same level. There's no going to be a special privilege and a right to be given to them as it used to be given. And 1,000 crore has been earmarked for the new startups. That is a huge change, and things are going to unfold the way Bharat Forge has come up, way L&T has come up, where your new complete your drone sector has been taken over the private sector, the quality stuff which has been given. Today we can have the waves and waves of the drones dominating your complete IB and LC. And you can launch the assaults by these drones. That's a huge achievement by the country. That's the first unfold step, I would say, taken into the self-reliance and your own indigenous production. Gentlemen, I'm not taking much of a time. Since my time given to you was 10 minutes, I would say I think we are really fortunate during the tough times when the nation was moving through difficulties. We had an excellent personality, a great face, who led us through these difficult times. And the vision what he is holding for the nation, that Naya Bharat, Shaktishali Bharat, Atmanirbhar Bharat. Let's support his cause. I think India is not far to really get this Atmanirbhar title very soon. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.